So if you observe this example, uh, you just look at the syntax. Okay, so that syntax is, say, this this is the syntax. Okay, so syntax says class name. So first thing is class name. Okay, then private data and functions access specifier colon data and functions access specifier data and functions. That means in a class you can write any number of times data and functions. Okay, so you just observe this example. So how we have written. So just a minute. So when we start writing the class concept, so how we have to write is like you have to follow the syntax. Okay, that is syntax says first thing you have to write the keyword class. After writing the keyword class, you should write the class name. Okay, so in this example, so I have taken the class name as employee. See, I said class name is an identifier. So you can write the identifier by using the identifier rules. Okay, so class is a keyword. Okay, and employee is an identifier. Okay, see, once again, I will tell the identifier rules. You should not forget, because wherever I say identifier, you have to follow the identifier rules. That is, first thing is blank spaces should not be there. That is, are not allowed. Okay, blank spaces are not allowed. This is one rule. Second rule is starting character should not be digit. Should not be digit. So this is the second rule. Then third rule is keyword. Okay. Keywords should not be used. This is the third rule. Fourth rule is symbols except underscore should not be used, and underscore is not compulsory. Okay, except underscore means plus, minus, dollar, hash. These symbols should not be used. So only you can use underscore, and underscore is not compulsory. If you want, you can use. So you have to remember these rules while writing class name, because class name is an identifier. Okay, whenever you write identifier, you have to follow these rules. Blank spaces should not be there. Starting character should not be digit. Keyword should not be used. Symbols except underscore should not be used. So you follow these rules and write the class name. So employee is the class name. You can check here. So I have not used a blank space. Employee is not a keyword. Starting character I have written small letter. You can write either capital letter or small letter or even underscore also, but you should not write digit. Okay. So later you can write digit. After writing starting character, you can write any number of digits like this. Okay. Next, symbols except underscore. Underscore is not compulsory. If you want, you can use. But if you don't use, also it is correct. And other symbols you should not use. So this is the correct identifier. Next, class is a keyword. So for keyword, one rule is there. You have to write every letter of the keyword in small letters. Okay, lowercase letters you have to write. Not even a single letter should be in capital letter. Okay, that is the rule for keyword. Okay. Then after that, here, opening brace. After opening brace, see, in class, we should write two things. One is data, another one is functions. Data and functions you have to write in the class, because class means encapsulation. Encapsulation means which contains data and functions of an object. If data and functions are put together, that concept is called as encapsulation. Binding of data and functions into one unit. See, because when you close the brace here, this is called one unit of object, or you can say structure of an object. Class is nothing but the structure of an object. So why we have to call class as a structure of an object means it contains data and functions. Data and functions are related to object. Object contains data and functions. So we are making one unit of one object, one structure of one object, where it contains data and functions. Okay. And whenever we write the data and functions, that is two things. First part is data, second part is functions. What we do generally is this data we put in a private section. Data is put in the private section, and functions are put in the public section. It is not a rule, but programmers are using that method. Okay, data we will put in private section, functions will put in public section. And when you are writing at the first line, if you don't write the private access specifier, by default this is treated as private. Okay, by default, whatever you write, that is treated as private. Okay, and if you write private, that is also correct. If you don't write, it is treated as private only. And afterwards, you should write public or protected. Then you have to write the functions. Now, in this example, so what they have done, we will see. See, first thing, name of 25. So name is a variable, that is nothing but the data. So we have not written anything, private or public. So it is considered as private. So only I have written in comments, it is private. Okay. Next, public section. Next, we have two functions. So I said, right, functions should be written in public section. Data should be written in private section. So data means like variables. Variables are nothing but the data, declaration of variables. Okay, you have to write. Then these are the functions. Next, again, one more time, if you want to use private, you can do it. Okay, so access specifiers you can use any number of times. Private, public, protect, like that. You can use any number of times. Only at the first place, if you don't write anything, it is treated as private. Okay. Next, again, one more time, public access specifier. We can write two functions here. Okay. You just observe this diagram. See, class employee. So this contains two things, data and functions. See, always class contains two things, data and functions, because we got the concept of class from the object itself. In real world thing, from the concept of object only, we have got the class, because data and functions are related to object. Data and functions are related to object. That is, putting data and functions together is called as class. See, here we have put, see, first column, first row is data. Second, functions, again data, again functions. So you can put any number of times data and functions. Okay. We will see the explanation here. In the above example, employee is a simple class which has the data name, okay, which has the data name and wage. Two things are data here. Name is a data, wage is a data. See, where you store some value, variable, that is called as data. So in the name, you will store some value. See, for example, if I say Ravi Kumar, so that is one value. Wage means like salary, 10,000, 20,000, like that. Okay. Or daily wages, like 500 rupees, 600. So that is called as data. Okay. Then the public access specifier is used twice. You just observe here. Two times we have used the public access specifier. Okay. Fine. We can put the employee class as shown below with all private elements grouped together and all public elements grouped together. See, what we can do is like, see, in this example, what we have done, first declaration private, next public, again private, again public. Like this, we have used 4 times, private, public, private, public. So what we can do, so you can use all private data elements at once. That means you group it. That is name and age, you write at one side, and put name, get name, put wage, get wage. These 4 functions on another side. That means private elements will be grouped together. Public functions will be grouped together. We just observe here. In this program, in this code, we have done it. That means, see, in private, I have written name and wage. See, I said by default it is taking it as private. If you don't write anything, it is taking it as private. Okay. Then in public section, all the functions have grouped. Put name, put wage, get wage. These are the functions. See, when you will come to know that is a function means, if you are using this opening brace and closing brace, remember. So this is very, very important. If you are using opening brace and closing brace, so that becomes the function. So void put name of opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. It is not a brace, it is a parenthesis. Similarly, void get name of opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. If you use like this, then it becomes the function. See, for example, for wage, I have not used it like this, correct? Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, I have not used. That is a data. For data, you should not use like that. And if it is an array, you have to use square brackets. So name is an array. So you have to use square bracket. That is in programming language, it is called as bracket, and you have to mention the size. So how many characters that name should be? So maximum 25 characters long. So if you are using array, use brackets. Okay. Otherwise, no need of using anything, any brackets like into bracket, flower bracket, or nothing. Okay. This is the data. See, for example, if I use one more data, say age is the data. Here you should not use opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, nothing. And if you're using like in int only, if suppose if I say int a, if I want to make it as an array, use square bracket. So whenever you are making data as an array, use a square bracket. Otherwise, not required. Okay. So in this way, you have to identify which is data and which is functions. So wherever you come across parenthesis, opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis, that is nothing but the function. Now you observe this diagram, how it is. So data in one part, functions in another part. In the previous example, what we have done, see, first column, first row data, second row functions, again data, again functions. So in the next example, what we have done, like we have grouped all data together in one part, first part. In the second part, we have grouped all functions together. Okay. Next. So you'll see the explanations here. Okay. See, functions that are declared or defined within a class are called as member functions. See, the meaning of that is, see, generally, we know what is a function. So function means, see, whenever we write the code in this format, that is, see, if I write, for example, void main. So void main. So inside main function. So right. Say this type of coding is called as, we can say, function, right? That is the main function. Similarly, if I want to write one more function, say sum, okay, then opening brace, then closing brace. So this type of coding is called as functions. Okay. Next, now, if suppose if I am writing within a class, how I should write? Because functions can be written within a class. So class employee. Okay. See, there are two ways of writing a function. That is, for example, if I write like this, so public section, okay, what function we have written here? Okay, put name, get name, right? If I say void putname, name. See, remember, this type of code, again I'm telling, this type of code is called as prototype of a function or declaration of a function. Prototype of a function or declaration of a function. Understood? This type of line where you put semicolon, okay, where you put semicolon, that type of function is called as declaration of prototype. See, void is a return type, put name is the function name, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, then semicolon. So this line is called as function prototype, okay, or declaration of a function. Another way of writing function is, see, for example, for this function only, if I write like this, say, don't put the semicolon in the first line, start with the opening brace, okay, then write some code inside this, one or two lines you write it, okay, then close this, just like main function how you write. This type of coding, so this part is called as function definition. It is not a prototype, it is a definition where you see actual code, because in this function we are writing some code, right? I have written some dotted lines. This is the code, okay? So where you write actual code, this complete thing is called as function definition. Understood? And this line is called as function declaration. For the same function, see, put name is a function. At one line I have written only declaration, that is prototype. In another line I have written complete function. Understood, right? So this type of line is called function prototype. This type of coding is called as function definition. So in the document, what they are telling is like, see, functions that are declared or defined. See, there is a difference between declaration and definition. So with respect to functions, you have to differentiate clearly. You should not get confusion. There is a difference between declaration and definition. So functions that are declared or defined meaning, see here, two things we have done here. Okay, see, this is a declaration line. These lines are definition line. So try to understand. This is a declaration line where I have written void put name, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, semicolon. So I have ended the function with semicolon. Further, I have not extended that function. Extension means like next line writing like this, putting opening brace, and then writing some code. I have not extended. That means I have ended that function by semicolon. In the first line only I have ended. So that those type of lines are called as declaration. And when you extend without putting semicolon, put opening brace, closing brace, when you extend the code, these type of lines are called as function definition. So you have to understand the difference here. So this line is function declaration, this line is function definition. So whatever you do, either the function declaration or a definition, so functions that are declared or defined within a class. So within a class means like see here, see in this case what I have done, outside the class I have written the definition. But if you bring this inside the class only, so instead of writing declaration, you directly write definition. Okay, if you write definition like this, so this is also called as member function. So either declaration or definition, whatever you do. If you remove all these and put semicolon here, it is called a declaration. Or else, if you write opening brace and closing brace and extend the function like this, okay, so this complete thing is called as definition. See, I will write two functions. For one function I will write declaration, another function I will write definition. See, for example, for this I have written definition, that is complete function without putting semicolon. Okay, so one function I will write it where I will write only declaration. See, void say get wage, some function I will write. Okay, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, put semicolon. See, this line is called as declaration. It is not a definition. Okay, and this complete thing is called as definition. Understood, right? For get wage function, I have written only declaration. For put name function, I have written definition, complete function. Okay. So whatever you do, either the declaration or the definition within the class. See, they have mentioned within the class, not outside the class, within the class. Either declaration or a definition. For both the things, they are calling it as member functions. Remember, this term you have to remember, member functions. For functions only, one term is there, member functions. So when we have to call it as member function means functions which are declared or defined within a class are called as member functions. The member functions may access any element of the class of which they are a part. This includes all private elements. Variables that are elements of a class or member variable. So the meaning of this is, say whenever we are writing class, there are three things: private, public, and protected, right? Now we will discuss about private and public. So if we don't write anything, by default it is considered as private, right? So this is called as private section. So in private section, I have written one variable, that is A. Okay, fine. Now if I want to give value for this, okay, see what they are telling is, you can give the value here, that is input name or get name, whatever it is. A is equals to 10. Here you can give that. The meaning of that is, for private elements, you can access those private variables within the function that should be inside the class. Remember, within the function which should be inside the class. See, for example, if I am writing void main, inside this, if I want to access a value like A is equals to 20, so this line is wrong. Here you will get an error because A is declared as private data element. Private means security, which should not go outside. Okay, it should be present within the boundary. Boundary is starting of the class and ending of the class. This is a boundary. So within this class you can use, and where you have to use, within the function which is declared in the public section. Within this function you can use. If you take this variable outside this class means you have taken in the main function. So this is wrong. Outside the class you cannot take. That means within the function of the class you can take, within the class you can take, but outside the class you cannot take. So that is the meaning of private data elements. So in the document, so that explanation is there. That is, say the member functions may access any element of the class of which they are part. This includes all private elements. So private elements you can use in the member functions. Variables that are elements of a class are called member variables or data members. It is also called as instance variables. Collectively, any element of a class can be referred as member of class. See, there are three terms here. Okay, that is, look here. See here, this variable a, it is there, right? So this is called as, see, a is called as data member. Okay, a is called as data member or member variable or instance variable. See, in interview, you will get a question. What is a data member? You have to answer. Variable which is declared within the class, either in the private section or public section, whatever it is. So it is called as a data member. It is called as member variable. It is called as instance variable. Three terms are there: data member or a member variable or a instance variable. What about these things? Get, wage, put name. These are the functions. So for these things, we have to call it as member functions. These things are called as member functions. For data, you have to call it as a data member or a member variable or an instance variable. For functions, you have to call it as member functions. Next, together. Together means, say, for example, A is there, get wage is there, and put name is there. So together, collectively, these things are called as members of a class. It can be data member or a member of, it can be data member or a member function. Members of a class. That means for all, you collect all these: a, get name, get wage, put name. All these are called as members of a class. Collectively, they are called as members of a class. For variable a, you have to call it as data member or a member variable or an instance variable. For get wage and put name, you have to call it as member functions. Together, you can call it as members of a class. Okay. Okay. Next. See, they are telling how to write a class. So what we are doing when we are writing a class. Okay. See, in general, we should make all data elements of a private to that class. See, whenever you are writing variables, instance variables, or a data member or a member variable, you have to make it as private. That only they are telling. It is not a rule, but you should make it as a private. Why? Because this is part of the way that encapsulation is achieved. Encapsulation means what? Putting data and functions together. Okay, that means we are making data as the security. Data security means which cannot be seen from outside. Other users cannot be used. Other programs cannot be used. Other part of the program cannot be used. So if you make it as security, that's what in softwares, when they develop the software, they will be worried about security. Somebody will hack it. So they will be worried about security. So if you make it as encapsulation means putting together, putting in a box, which cannot be seen from outside. So all data, if you put in private section, that is nothing but encapsulation. Okay. However, there may be some situations in which we need to make one or more variables are public. See, so only it is not a rule. I said it is not a rule, but if you make it as private, it is encapsulation is achieved. And if there are some situations, if you make one or more variables as to be declared in public section, that also you can do. So that only they are telling. However, there are some situations, there may be some situations in which we need to make one or more variables as public. That also can do, depending on the application situation. Okay, we don't know at what situation it will come like that. Okay, so when variable is public, it can be directly accessed by other part of a program. So the syntax for accessing in a public data member is same as the calling the member function. Specify the object name, dot operator, and variable name. Okay. See, the meaning of this is, see, if I make one variable as a public, see, for example, here, if I make one variable as a public, say, let me consider like public, okay, int b, okay. See, this is data. Variables are all data, okay, and functions are all member functions. So here I have two variables, a variable, b variable. A I have made it as private, B have made it as public. The meaning of that is, see, whichever variables you have made it as public, right, that can be accessed outside the class also. That is in the main function or in some other function also you can write. So if I write a is equals to 10 at this line, we'll get error. Okay, at this line we'll get error because a is treated as private. A is treated as private. If you don't write anything also, it is private. Okay, but for variable b, we have made it as public, right? So if you make it as public, you can use anywhere. Okay, b is equals to 20. So this statement is correct. Will not get any error. See, generally in English also, in real world also, private means like security. Okay, public means everyone can see, like that it is. So a variable a is in private section, so you cannot use outside the class in the main function or in some other functions you cannot use. Whereas b is a in B is in public section, you can use outside the class, that is in main function, just like local variables and global variables. Global variables can be accessed throughout the program in all the functions. Local variables should be accessed only within the function. Okay. Okay. Next. So next topic is object declaration. Okay. So before that, if you have any doubts, you can ask earlier. So just for 10 seconds, I will wait. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay. Okay. See, remember, see, whenever we consider the term declaration, okay, we have to remember the syntax. Like if I say declaration of a variable, okay, see, for keywords, there is no declaration. Keywords will be used as it is. Only thing is you have to follow the rule that how to write all the letters of the keyword in lowercase letter, that is small letters. For keyword, there is no syntax. When comes to the variable declaration, see, when comes to the usage of identifiers, creating an identifier, like identifiers like variable is an identifier, okay, then array is an identifier, okay, then whether it is one dimensional or two dimensional, array is an identifier. Next we can consider like function name. So function name is an identifier, right? Then class name is an identifier. Okay. Last thing, now what we are going to discuss is object name. So object name is an identifier. So still there are many identifiers, just I'm giving these examples: variable name, array name, function name, class name, object name. For these things, we come across the concept of declaration. Okay, remember, for these things, wherever you are writing identifiers, we come across the concept of declaration. That is a declaration of a variable, declaration of an array, declaration of a function, total function, return type, function name, argument list, declaration statement, opening brace, closing brace, return statement, like that. Declaration of a class, just now we saw declaration of an object. Now, if I consider the concept of declaration of variable, so for declaration of variable, there is a syntax to, or we can say syntax of declaration of variable. The syntax of declaration of variable says data type variable name. Okay, see, declaration of syntax of variable is, that is data type, okay, variable name. This is the declaration. Understood? Syntax. Syntax means it is a formula, data type variable name. For example, if I consider int a, so this is correct. Int is the data type and a is the variable. Okay. Similarly, float is the data type, b is the variable. Now, if you want to declare the array, int is the data type, a is the array, size is 10. So here a is not called as normal variable, it is called as array. Put semicolon, 10 is the size. Now, if I want to declare the object, okay, same formula, same syntax we can follow, data type variable name. In this case, what happens is, say, if I want to declare an object, so to declare an object, what we have to follow is, what we have to, how we have to think is, see, data type is here, data type becomes the class name. So try to understand here, data type becomes the class name. So variable becomes the object name. Okay. Data type becomes the class name, variable becomes the object name. So for example, if you consider employee as the class name, so this is the class, and if I say E is the object. So now declaration statement tells class name, object name. So I'll write here. Syntax to declare an object. Syntax to declare an object is, see, syntax to declare an object is class name. Okay. So what I have to tell is class name space object name. Okay. Then semicolon. Class name space object name semicolon. You just compare with this, it is matching. Okay, data type, variable name, semicolon. Similarly, class name, object name, semicolon. Now you can write here, in place of class name, you write it as employee. Okay, in place of object name, you write E, semicolon. So if you remember this formula, data type variable, this is applied for many things, to declare a variable, to declare an array, to declare an object, like that. For many things it is used. So class name is the data type, object name is the variable. So class name is the employee, E is an object. Now we will see in the example what we have done. Okay. So you look at this syntax. Okay. Class name, object name with semicolon. Right? Class name, object name, semicolon. If you want to declare more objects, class name, object 1, object 2, semicolon. Okay. Just a minute. See here, class name, object name, semicolon, right? To declare one object. If I want to declare more objects, class name, object 1, comma, object 2, object 3. So many number of objects you can declare. Okay. So by following this syntax, in this program, I have declared the object. Okay. That is, in the program, I have declared the object. We will see how we have declared the object and how we are using it. Okay. Look here. Just a minute. Okay. So this is the class. Okay. So see here what I have done. I have declared 3 variables, I, j, and k. But you see the access specifier what I have used, public. Instead of private, I have used public, because why I have used public means I want to access these variables outside the class. Outside the class means outside opening brace and closing brace of the class. I want to use outside the class. Outside the class means where I am using in the main function I want to use. If you want to use these variables in the main function, then declare those variables as public. Otherwise, if you declare it as private, you cannot use those variables outside the class, that is in the main function. Now we will see how we have done here. Okay. Outside the that is outside the class, how we have used, we will come to know. Okay. So accessible means outside the class, it can be accessible. Okay. So in the main function, you just observe this line, my class. My class is the class name. A is an object, B is an object. So 2 objects we have declared by using this syntax, class name, object 1, object 2, like that. Okay, next. See, if I want to make use of the variables which are declared within the public section outside the class, that means outside the class means in the main function. So then how I have to use? You just look at this line, what we have done here. A dot I is equals to 100. Directly I is equals to 100, we cannot write. You can use the I variable to use the I, j, and k variables. There is one rule. That is, again, we can call it as like formula. That formula is first use the object name, then put the dot symbol, then write variable I. Object dot variable is equals to some value. So your object is the A, dot I is the variable, 100 is the value. So A dot I is equals to 100. Then A dot j is equals to 4. A dot k is equals to A dot I into A dot j. Always when you are using variables which are declared within the class in the main function, you have to follow this rule. That is object dot variable. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes.
Sir, declaration of object ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿ sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. See, whenever we come across the word declaration, so 2 things we need. One is data type. Okay. Along with the data type, we require one identifier. Okay. Data type, identifier. Then put a semicolon. Now we are declaring the object. So here object is an identifier. It is an identifier. So for this object, I need the data type. Okay. If you need the data type, we cannot use the data types such as int, float, okay, char, void, boolean,